What is up? Today we're going to talk about World War One, and namely the causes of World War One. World War One was known as the first modern war due to the weapons, the ships, the planes, the fighting techniques that happened in the war. World War One began in 1914, ended in 1918, and the U.S. didn't get involved till actually about 1917, and they were only in it for a year or so. So the causes of the war include militarism, alliances, imperialism, nationalism, and then an assassination. So here's what that looked like. For militarism, what that means is it was a time of an arms race. People were racing to be the strongest, most militarized nation in Europe and across the world. Britain in 1906 launched the Dreadnought, which was a massive battleship, and it was the first of its kind. Alliances were another reason for the main cause of the war. Alliances essentially meant that if you attacked one country, you attacked them all, and there were groups of friendships where that happened. You had to start off the Triple Entente versus the Triple Alliance, and the U.S. would eventually join that Triple Entente. Imperialism. For imperialism, as you know, it means that these countries were trying to colonize other areas of the world and implement their own governments and power there and use them for resources. So there was this race to imperialize areas across the world, like Africa, India, parts of Asia, the New World, in the Bahamas, the Caribbean, and it was people trying to get the most resources to be the most powerful and to increase that sphere of influence. And then you had nationalism. Nationalism was an interesting one because it took people from being patriotic and proud to be where they're from into this more arrogant, we are better than you way. And that's what led to the fifth and most immediate cause of the war, which was an assassination. So this assassination happened to the Archduke, whose name was Franz Ferdinand, of Austria-Hungary. There was a Serbian nationalist who was in Bosnia at the time that Franz Ferdinand and his family were touring Bosnia. This Serbian nationalist ran up to this motor coach and shot and assassinated Franz Ferdinand and his wife. That then that kicked off that system of alliances because Germany backed Austria-Hungary, but then Russia had to back Serbia. And since Russia backed Serbia, Britain and France backed Russia, and then the US had to get involved. So it was all this chain of events that led to World War One. And that's all we have for today, the causes of World War One, and that's what we got.